Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Welcome back. And this is part two of a series that I started the day before. Yes, my my channel's messy, just as messy as my life, as you know. And remember, I'm a gray sheep, so I have expected to disappoint. And yeah, all of that jazz. But anyway, I am going to be talking more about that gentleman who literally tried to tell me how I'm supposed to widen my dating scope, and who over the last, this has been an interesting month of messages from men that I'm getting, and a lot of Republican MAGA Trump supporting men telling me that I'm dumb, that I'm stupid, that I need to rethink my views, that I what I need to do. And it's more proof of why when this gentleman had the nerve to speak to me, I was disgusted. It's like, yes, I'm a woman. I have my own opinion. I have my own views. And if you disagree, we're not compatible. So just leave me alone. It's like, if you see we're not compatible, don't, let's save us both some time. But instead, you're going to try to mansplain, get in my space, troll me, waste my time. And he wasted his time, but hey, that's not in my control. I don't care about what he does, but don't do it around me. If you see we're not compatible, if you see that we're not going to see eye to eye on key issues, then keep it moving, keep it going. And a lot of men keep telling me that I need to date men that I don't have things in common with so that I won't be single anymore. Some men think that women are only supposed to be with a man to be with a man. So, because that's the requirement or the status that a woman has to be. Men can go around, do whatever, because same thing with babies. If a man doesn't want kids, babies, or whatever, he's given props. He's like, yeah, okay, that's your choice. If a woman, you should be ashamed of yourself. Your body is made to make babies. Your body is made to reproduce. Your body is made to populate the earth. What are you doing? I want kids, but I haven't found a man that I feel is worth having kids with. So I haven't had that yet. But then when I say I want to adopt and foster, that's not really having kids. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're selfish. Oh, it's like you just don't want to go through a few hours of pain. It's like that's selfish of you. Like, I've heard anything and everything. But then on the other side of the spectrum, well, you have a disability. Thank God, God hasn't allowed you to have children. It's like, I'm surprised your parents wanted you. Yeah, I hear all of that. So for this man to come up to me after, he doesn't ask questions about my standards. Will I answer them? I don't know. It depends on the day. It depends on how I feel. But for men to keep coming to me, telling me who I'm supposed to date, I'm looking for marriage material. And I'm not just going to stick around with a guy. Because I already did that for 7 years. I, mm, And I kept knowing that he wasn't going to make me happy, but I kept just thinking, okay, just become happy within your situation. As long as you're happy in the situation, you can get through it. I shouldn't have to get through a relationship. It's like getting through a relationship shouldn't feel like going through war. I shouldn't have to map out and figure out a way for my peace of mind and my mental health on a daily basis. And especially when my mom died of cancer, who didn't go to this funeral even though I begged him, who refused to go to the hospital and at least come with me, hold my hand while we're waiting for my mom to like to pass on, and who waited in the hospital until I think it was around 1:30 in the morning. She passed away. Then I got home, went to sleep, woke. I texted my boss. But then my boss, for some reason, she didn't think I was going to go to work. Yeah, I went to work that next day. Did I get a call from my ex? Did I get support? Did I get, I'm so sorry, I'm there for you? No, I didn't get that until I told him, you didn't even check to see if I was okay. You didn't even check to see if I was okay. So, and then after my surgery, I begged him to go to the hospital. And yeah, you've heard these stories and different videos, but people don't know the important. Like, this is one reason I do my video, because I don't want women making the same mistake I did. Because dating Mr. No Heart, dating Mr. Lockakey were two of the biggest mistakes. Because yes, it's like Mr. Lockakey threatened his life if I didn't date him. You know, it's like, as a Christian woman, I was scared because I didn't want to be the purpose. I should have just, I'm like, you know what? Do what you do, boo. Do what you do. It's like I was so scared, and I felt so guilt. Like, I was just like, no, no. It's like, it's gonna be okay. And I thought I had to nurture him. No. He was addicted to special candy. He was a problem and a mess. And after I left him, yeah. So when I see men writing me, having the nerve to tell me that I need to downgrade my standards, I wish I didn't have to go to this far with standards. But especially politics, especially with vaccination, no, I'm not changing that. With education, if I can find a guy who doesn't care that I possibly have more education, possibly I am starting my businesses, but he's not going to be threatened or feel insecure or feel like I'm upgrading, or I'm up a level from him. I can't stand that. And with Mr. No Heart, that's all, like, he couldn't stand it. And when his mother told me the only reason I got into college is because I'm black, when I got great job opportunities and projects, you only got this because you're black, he didn't defend me. He didn't defend me. And but then with so it's like, yeah, I still haven't done part 3 of another series. So I'm gonna get on that one, but ladies, guys, it's like, 'cause this might happen to some men too. Don't let people tell you who you are supposed to be, who are you supposed to date. Be you. If they don't like you the way you are, that's a sign. If they're only attracted with your outer beauty, sorry to break it to you, but over the years, beauty fades. Unless you're gonna get the same plastic surgery and stuff as the Kardashians and all the really rich Hollywood stars and everything, beauty fades. So it's like, if you're not going to put your body under major construction on a yearly, yearly, 10 yearly, whatever basis, just make sure you're going to be happy with the person no matter how they look, no matter how their outer being is. If they don't have a sense of humor now, they won't later. If they don't like your political beliefs and like your thoughts and your opinions now, they won't later. If they only like your rack now, will they later? And when they don't like it anymore, they're going to move on and cheat on you with somebody else who has the rack that you had years ago, or the other body parts. I say rack because that's the only reason Mr. No Heart dated me. So, anyway, here's part 2. Ew, to you, LOL. TF. Well, we all know what TF means, but he didn't ask why I said. Like, I mean, he asked, but he didn't ask. So I find it funny. So I wrote, I hope you only wrote me out of, well, I meant out of, but it said if boredom, because never. Okay? You write people you never have a chance with, for what reason? And he never has a chance with me because, okay, if he's never going to get vaccinated, he will never, ever, ever have a chance with me because we are not compatible. And that's for dating, not friends. I mean, if you don't want to take the vaccine, but you want to talk, chat, or whatever, hang out, okay. We disagree on that, like, but okay, we can hang out, but we're not going to date. And again, he is not my type whatsoever. Whatsoever. But then I wrote, I'm good. I don't want you. Oh no, he wrote me, my bad. Okay. I'm good. I don't want you. I just read your bio and see how ignorant you are. But he wrote me out of ignorance because he had the nerve to write me trying to tell me that I should open my like stance or open my variety of options of men when no, I've dated for years, for decades, and I've been in a long term 7 year relationship with a guy who like he was so-called Democrat, but now I kind of wonder because his family was hardcore Republican, MAGA, Trump supporting, racist, good for nothing, uneducated. Because like once you say that I only got went to college because I'm black, but then it's like then you have your story time is you sit me down and tell me why each and one of your children went to jail, and you're like ha ha he, but then you say okay it's your turn, and when I say oh I've never been to jail, then you get upset. Why do you think the black person like yeah the black you're so upset that the black person doesn't have any jail stories? You're upset that the black person isn't gonna go ha ha he about yeah I got arrested. No, I've never been arrested. Are you mad that all your white kids got arrested and I didn't? Yeah. But when it came to COVID, it's like they didn't really think much of it until one of their family members got it. Then they changed their mind. It wasn't until someone passed away, then they changed their mind. I broke up with him like a few months later, but yeah, it was amusing with how they thought of COVID, how they mocked it, teased it, and someone passed away. Hmm. And then talking to other guys, them keep putting me down or oh I've got screenshots from some of these fools. Some might be repeats, but I think if I put as oh and I have more. I'll look them up. I'll try to see if I can download a few more. But I said ill because he was mansplaining to me, trying to tell me who I need to date. Men, stop doing that. Women know who they like and who they're attracted to. And men just don't go based on beauty. And some say, oh, go based off of compatibility or if they will stick around or if blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, if they'll stick around. Some men only stick around because the woman's useful around the house. But do they have good times? Do they laugh? Do they communicate well? What is it like? And oh, I guess I'm gonna have to do a different part because yeah, there's two more examples. I might be able to do another one real quick, but that one right there is like this fool's so ignorant because everybody has different wants, needs, desires, and expectations. And I grew up like in the church where you're not supposed to get divorced and the man's supposed to be the king of the house and blah 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 blah. Well, if the man's supposed to be the leader, I need a man that I'm gonna trust. I need a man who at least agrees with me. Because if I'm gonna end up with a man who doesn't want to get vaccinated, then we have kids. And then if he tries to tell me the kids aren't gonna be vaccinated, my pastor he says, well, a woman's not supposed to disagree with the man. The woman's supposed to do what the man says. Because he has an eggplant. Because he has an eggplant. He might, it's like a lot of these men say and do stupid things and they don't want to do their research, but then they say they're right because they're the man. No. I need to be able, like, security means trusting. I need to be able to trust the person who I'm going to be with, trust the person I want to have kids with. And if they can't even get vaccinated, no, I'm good. How dare you? Gonna try to tell me who I need to date? Gonna tell me to widen my scope? No, no. Mm-mm. I know I'm not the best person, the prettiest person, the smartest person, or and I know I have a disability, but men act like since I'm me, that I'm the bottom of the barrel, I don't deserve anything. I should just get the scrappings or I should just be desperate. And especially since I'm older, no. Okay, if that's the case, I will settle with being alone because, especially since I got diagnosed, especially since I left and broke up with Jesse No Heart, I'm happier. I'm still trying to get to a point where I can just say happy, but I'm happier because I'm becoming myself. I dated a guy who hated that I was educated. He tolerated it. Like when he met me, he thought it was interesting. But then over time, especially when his family members were like, how'd you get her? She has 3 degrees, 3 certifications. How'd you get her? Yeah, he didn't like that. He couldn't stand that. And then when I kept going after things and achieving things, the more he couldn't stand it. I have my standards for a reason, and when I finish my novel, I still haven't done part 3 of one of my last episodes, but I will get to it because sneak peek when I finish my novel or the rough drafts. I'm still finishing the final, but I asked him to read it. I was so excited, but I kind of told you part of the story of when I shared with him one of my poems from college because I was an English major. I have my bachelor's in English. I was an English major. And he said he'll read it later or another time. Later on that week, I was cooking dinner for us before he got home. And I went to the kitchen where the trash can was in the next room or the laundry room. And I found that he threw my poem away. He threw it away. So that weekend, I waited a little bit because I wanted to be petty. I was like, oh, what did you think of my poem? And oh my gosh, I just remember the face. He was like, oh, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I gave you the poem. Did you read it? Oh, I don't know what happened to it. And well, when I finished my novel, same thing. I'll only read it if you publish it. So just get ready, because when I broke up with him, that is when he said he'll read it. When he realized that I was so tired of his excuses. And then he tried to spin everything. He had the nerve to tell me, well, you can't tell me I don't love you. You can't tell me I can't love. Like in part 2, when you don't go to my mother's funeral, after I beg and plead for days and I tell you how much I need you, when I have to have major surgery, and I literally, like, I would have gotten on my knees if I was able to get back up, but I was in so much pain I wouldn't have been able to get back up. He wouldn't even call me. He wouldn't even call me or text me. I had to settle with gifts of puppies. That's all he would do, was send me gifts of puppies. And then after, when I got home, he didn't call me. And this is the reason why I have the standards that I have, because even some of my friends were like, no, he's jealous of you. And some were like, well, now that your disability is getting worse, like in a way, he feels like he has more power now. And now that he's not going to see you. You're becoming more desperate in his eyes. You're going to want him more. Or once you're able to go see him, you're going to be so on him that he has more power. I will never let that happen. Because, and yeah, and the funny thing, I was sharing a picture on Instagram, but while I was going through it, I found it. So you're probably going to see a screenshot of the text message from Instagram because I've tried to go back and find it, but I can't. So I'll share it. Like once I finally get to it and find it, I'm going to email it to myself to put on an episode. But it's on Instagram, so I'll do it that way. But yeah, he had the nerve to tell me that I can't tell him he doesn't love me. But I remember when my car was overheating and I called him to help me after all of the times I've helped this man. His vehicle was repossessed, his truck then died, then he had to get another vehicle each time he called me. And then he always told me his family couldn't help, his roommate couldn't help, his mother couldn't help. But then when I needed him, call your father. Call your father. Like, what? Excuse me? Like, you say you don't want to get married again, but you want to be with me for the rest of my life, but you can't even call me. And when I need you, when my vehicle is overheating on the expressway and I pulled over almost in tears because I'm on my way to work and my mom just died. Yeah, my mom just died. And I'm going through all of this with my car overheating and everything. Yeah. But he just told me to tell my dad. And he hung up. He was too busy. And all of the times I've helped this man, but he had the nerve to tell me I can't say he doesn't love me. And oh yeah, I'm gonna save some of it for the next episode, but this man never loved me. He only loved the money that I was able to lend him, and he never paid back. He loved certain body parts on me. That's all. Like, he didn't love anything else. He loved what he can get out of me. But it was kind of funny because I would watch certain shows while in bed after my surgery, in between physical therapy and everything. And I already enjoyed Divorce Court back in the day, but the one woman who used to be the host on The View was hosting around that time, I believe, like, because I know then it transferred to this. I think her name was not Hope, but another young woman. But it's like I forgot. Like, she wasn't a bachelorette. I forgot which role she used to be in, but she did a really good job too. But I remember watching Divorce Court after my surgery in bed, and it's like part of me was just like, because I already knew I wanted to break up with him, but I was scared of being alone. I was scared of being alone, even though I didn't want anything to do with him because his racist, awful, terrible family, his dreadful youngest daughter, who's a nightmare. I talked about her already. I mean, she's the one who threw her grandmother's toy against the wall and it broke in pieces. She would come up and kick me, literally leaving bruises on me. Oh, I got stories. Oh yeah, I didn't say, yeah, I never even, yeah, I recorded it, but it didn't really end up all that great. So I will redo that episode of the story time of when I was making breakfast and pancakes and stuff. But this jerk on the app had the nerve to tell me who I need to date. You don't know what I've been through. It's like a lot of men who don't meet the standards on that list, they don't like me. They want to use me. They want to use everything that I've worked so hard for. And even when I'm starting life all over, it's like I have, like, the things I have achieved, the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm going to pursue. when I'm on the phone with some of these guys on the app, oh, you're a nerd. Oh, you're trying too much. Aren't you a cripple? Why are you trying to start a business? No one cares what you're gonna do. Oh, aren't you black? That doesn't sound like a black woman. You don't sound like a black woman. Or men who I don't even match with, but just like this black guy, they write me. Your description describes a white man. You're supposed to date black, so you need to change your standards now. Or, oh, you want a white man, but you don't understand we like men like us, we got 8 inches, etc., etc., etc. But this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too. Know your standards, know what you want, and because once you get married, you want it to be forever. And sometimes maybe I can explain it in a way where put on a blindfold when you date. When the beauty fades away, are you still going to be attracted to them? Are you still going to smile and laugh and enjoy their company? That's like the standards I have, because that's why I don't care how tall they are. I don't like, yeah, I have a preference with looks some in some ways, but uh, I am more about, oh my gosh, nighttime talk, watching documentaries or anime or whatever, and just cuddling and talking and debating and stuff like that. Putting puzzles together and like playing board games or video games and nerding out or planning a trip somewhere around the world and going on adventures. That's what I want. But guys like this, they can't handle what I want. Guys like this, nah. I'm too much of a square for him. Take care.